Hey you guys, today's video is a little different from my breakdown content. I want to talk about the close and long range combat in the Final Fantasy VII Remake and how they use the front and back row mechanic from the original in this remake. We've seen some combat in the trailers that shows that each character has a unique playstyle. You can categorize these playstyles into close combat and range combat. In the original game, you could set characters to the front row or the back row. Setting a character to the back row would decrease the damage taken from short-range attacks, but would also reduce the damage you dealt with regular attacks, since you were farther away from the target. This is good for weaker characters, or characters that use long-range attacks or magic, since these attacks are not penalized when used in the back row. You can change this positioning in the menu by going to Orders. The character pictures would reflect this positioning by being to the left to reflect that the character is in the front row, or by being to the right to reflect that the character is in the back row. In the remake, I think they have done away with this system and have simply created each character's playstyle with the front and back row mechanics in mind. For Cloud, whose playstyle focuses on normal close range attacks, you can obviously tell that he is a front row attacker. His attacks are centered around getting in close to the enemy to deal damage. Obviously, you are not locked to just close range attacks, since you can use summons and magic. The main focus though with regular attacks and commands shows that Cloud is a front row attacker. Barrett is a back row attacker, he uses long range attacks to damage enemies. Commands and regular attacks all focus on staying back out of range of close attacks and shooting at the enemy. Tifa is definitely a front row attacker, since her attacks are all punches and kicks, as are her commands. Aerith is a back row attacker. We can see that Aerith takes a lot more damage from a physical attack than Tifa does, though that could be the different attacks that this enemy was using. I wonder if alongside the positions of front and back row attackers, if you also have characters who are better for support rather than attacking. We've seen Aerith use a support command that lets other party members cast magic multiple times with one use. It seems like we could have both a front and back row mechanic as well as a supporter or attacker role. One last thing I want to note is that it seems like a lot of the same materia is back. In the original game, we had a materia that would negate the back row effect of lowering your damage with attacks. I wonder if that would be repurposed in the remake or if it would just be removed. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. I know this really wasn't a breakdown, but I thought this was a cool parallel to the original game. I've seen some people saying they are waiting to experience Final Fantasy VII for the first time with the remake, and I would strongly encourage you to play the original if you can. I think there are going to be a ton of references and nods to the original game that may be lost on new players. There are a bunch of different ways to play it on a bunch of different consoles, so I would highly suggest that you play the original first before you play the remake. Anyways, I'm pretty active on Twitch, YouTube, Discord, and Twitter, so be sure to follow the links in the description below to stay updated. If you like this, click the cards on screen to watch some of my breakdown series. Subscribe or share this, and I will see you in the next video.